Hi, I'm Melanie from Nova Scotia, Canada, and this is Adventures in Groceryland. This is the week 2 grocery video of my $25 2025 grocery budget challenge. The goal of the challenge is to show that with some thought and planning, you can increase your buying power. So I don't want to just have $25 cash available to me. I want to have more available to me than just that. The way I do that is by utilizing store incentive programs, so that's points programs, manufacturers coupons, and a local option, Sobeys fast fuel gas stations, where when I purchase gas, I get coupons back that are a percentage of the amount of liters of gas that I purchased, and I can use those as cash at Sobeys and Foodland stores. So those are just some of the ways that I increase my buying power. I had a phenomenal amount of groceries last week. This week, I'm still pretty excited. I was able to utilize some tools to get some pretty awesome things, I think. I did earn points last week, almost 1,300 PC Optimum, almost 13,000 PC Optimum points and 250 Scene points. So that means I could have redeemed PC Optimum points for $10, but I didn't. I'm saving them. I am going to show at the end of the video, so stay tuned, like even after kind of my wrap-up talk, and I'm going to insert some screenshots of the transactions that generated my points. I have a PC bank account and a PC MasterCard, and the majority of my points just come from my day-to-day life, getting my paycheck deposited, paying bills. I really don't do anything special, and I find that they accumulate quite quickly. Thanks for tuning in. Check out the groceries that we were able to get this week. I was looking for some marked down ground beef. We got 650 grams here for $9. That seems quite expensive. This is lean, not marked down, but 454 grams of medium is $5.97. Or I could try to go with burgers to get the ground. These boxes are $8.97 and there are 904 grams. When we take a look on the back at the ingredients, because I do typically look at the ingredients, do I go with $1.88, 427 grams if I can't believe it's not butter? I was thinking that muffins would be great, but I don't have all of the ingredients at home. But here is a Jiffy apple cinnamon package, $1.50. That actually fits in my budget, but it doesn't tell me how many muffins it makes. Like, how many would this make? It doesn't say. I have to think about that. I was thinking more along the lines of banana muffins. I'm at Sobeys. Smallest package of lean ground beef is $9.12, and this is 414 grams. Or they have a couple different kinds of burgers. So they've got Angus beef and smoked pork belly. They've got 100% Angus, and they've got sirloin burgers. These are on for $9.99 for 852 grams. Let's just take a look at the ingredients here. Oh, this seems much better. I really want butter. This is just a little tiny. It's like 1/4 of a pound. But Dairy Farmers of Canada logo. With my coupon, I could get it for $1.99. So that's something to think about. Cheese is on for $4.99. which I would get for $3.99. Common question I'm asked is, where do I get my coupons? And I just get them from rip-off pads, like this one, Yogurt Tubes or Mini-Goes. Or this one. This is the exact one that I used on the yogurt last week, $1 in Astro. Here's another, Activia. More rip-off pads. This one is save 50 cents off of Dairy Farmers of Canada. I'm not going to take any of these because I have a couple already that are $1 off. So we'll leave those for somebody else to enjoy. I'd really like some garlic. This is a really good value of minced garlic. I just don't know if on my budget this week I could swing this. Apple's still on sale, but this time the galas are on for 50 cents as well as the Macintosh. I would like some syrup. I know that Dollarama carries this exact size and brand for $2.75, but for $2.75, for 25 cents more, I could get a big bottle. There's a lot of things that I could do with if I just had some syrup. I'm at Walmart now, looking at the butter and the margarine, and they have not on sale, just regular price, $1.27 for I can't believe it's not butter, but this is the size of chip dip. Chip dip. I'm just going to set this here. Know what you're paying for. This is the kind that's on sale this week, $1.88 at Giant Tiger. Fast and fancy rice on for 97 cents, rollback at Walmart. Walmart has cream cheese on rollback for $2.68. They have the Dairy Farmers of Canada logo, and I could use my $1 coupon to get this for $1.68. This is what I mean when I say people leave them behind. So you just see them blowing in the breeze. $0.44. So this is what I have so far. I bought gas and I got $3.44. I topped up and I got 95 cents. These are at two different locations. This location always runs a bonus and you get double the points or the coupons back. It's a percentage per liter than what you do at this location. But I was at this location where I just topped up for 95 cents, where I got the 44 cents dangling from the pumps. So that is, so 344, 440, 39, so almost $5. This week, I spent $24.94 of my $25 budget, and that I'm a couple cents under is not a mistake. I'm making up for that overage last week, and I have still like that 2-cent buffer. I just want to be fair kind of about everything. I say $25, so I don't want to go over the $25. I feel like I did a really phenomenal again this week. The counter doesn't look as filled. However, I have some higher priced items here. The sales last week were just really phenomenal, and I watched and watched until the flyers came out for the changeover, and I ended up getting the majority of my groceries before the flyers changed back over. I just wanted to take advantage of those deals because the prices were better for things that I wanted that were usable for me this week. A big item that I really wanted to get this week was ground beef. And you saw, I explored many, many, many different options. And I had in my mind that I was going to get one of the boxes of burgers at Sobeys for $9.99, and just to use it as ground. But then a different opportunity, right, kind of at the last minute presented itself, and that allowed me to get one additional item in the budget that was unplanned for. I don't have a plan for it this week, but don't worry. When you get an unplanned item like that, like I'll take advantage of it moving forward. I shopped at Walmart, Superstore, Giant Tiger, Bulk Barn, and Sobeys. So less stores this week, less trips, because I'm starting to be able to have a pantry that can support me with some items. Let's get started. Let's start with the Walmart items. So you see here ground beef. When I found this ground beef that was marked down, I had been planning on buying the $9.99 for 852 grams of ground, and they were made into frozen burgers. I would have just used them as ground. But when I saw these markdowns, so this is medium, it's not lean, that's okay. Like I'm okay with that. That'll work absolutely totally fine for the ideas that I have for recipes this week. So here I was actually able to get 2 packages of 454 grams. That works out to 908 grams together. And it was $8.28 because you can see the markdown here was $4.14. I just want to kind of touch base on the fact that 1 pound of medium ground beef, regular priced at Walmart, is $8.28. That just blows my mind. I'm not saying that groceries are cheap. I do find that groceries are expensive if you just go to the store and just buy whatever you want, whatever you need. You're walking around, you just fill your cart. You need to know your prices and you need to put the effort in to shop the sales, get the deals, get the clearances. But it is possible to bring the groceries from that expensive shelf sticker price down to manageable, even in a tiny budget like $25. So I bought these 2 packages, and what that allowed me to do kind of at the last minute was I had remembered that cream cheese was on a rollback at Walmart for $2.68. And I know that the Walmart cream cheeses have that Dairy Farmers of Canada. Red alert. Red alert is over. So I did know that the Walmart cream cheese has the Dairy Farmers of Canada logo on it, meaning that I could use the coupon. So instead of $9.99 for a box of frozen burgers, I was able to get 2 packages of medium ground and this cream cheese for less, slightly less, like pennies less, but slightly less money. I also picked up a package of Fast and Fancy rice. This was another rollback at Walmart. So the cream cheese and the Fast and Fancy rice, those came out either in last week's flyer or perhaps the week before that. They're still on rollback. So this week, if you are watching this video, you can still get those items for the prices that I mentioned. Now, let's talk about the Taco Bell kit. I'm going to insert a little video here. This is a crazy price for the Taco Bell taco kits. $2.47, $2.47, $2.47. So you could see the store price in Walmart was $2.47 for the Taco Bell taco kits. I didn't make the purchase in store, but I'm including the price in the budget because I have Taco Bell taco kits in my cupboard. So instead of buying additional ones, I just pulled one out of my cupboard. It's the exact same product. I bought them when the Kraft deal was on a while back, I'm going to say ending the beginning of September. So included in the price is, so this has 12 crunchy taco shells. It has sauce in it, and it also has taco seasoning. So I'll be able to get multiple meals out of that with my ground beef. So very, very excited. I also and the Aylmer canned soup was 77 cents. Also from Walmart. It was on sale in the flyer last week. I do not think that it carried forward to this week. I also shopped at Superstore. I just had a little fog in my brain for a moment. I purchased syrup, and I really wanted syrup this week. I actually didn't look, my sister looked on all of the shopping apps for me to see if Walmart, any of those places, what the actual purchase price for the store brand of syrup was, because I know that I could get a small bottle of syrup at Dollarama, but it was $2.75. And I was really hoping that I could get a small bottle for cheaper than that at one of the big box stores. If I couldn't, it made sense to get $3, so 25 cents more, worth of syrup and get this big bottle. I've got plans for syrup. There are several things that I can make that I would like to have syrup with. So this was quite a splurge for me in a tiny budget to spend $3 on syrup. But I will get some good value out of that moving forward. I also got these green beans out of Flash Food. So I'm going to insert here the picture where it shows that I purchased these for $1. It's funny, what I really wanted this week was peas, but peas did not present themselves to me in any stellar value, but the green beans did, so just change up the plans. We're going with green beans. I had been thinking on and off about making muffins for breakfasts, and I just felt like all of the things that I would need extra to make muffins from scratch would cost more than what I wanted to spend to get breakfasts. Randomly, on a discount rack in Giant Tiger, I saw this Jiffy apple cinnamon muffin mix. I have never even noticed Jiffy muffin mixes before in my life. I didn't even know it was a thing. So I immediately tried to Google, well, how many muffins can I get out of this? I couldn't find how many. I feel like $1.50. I am going to make this work for 7 breakfasts. So I feel like that's a very good value for $1.50. I do need 1 egg and I do need some milk. I do have those in my existing supplies, but I will bulk this up with other things to make sure that I get a minimum of 7. So $1.50. Oh, I didn't share. Here is my receipt for the syrup at Superstore. That was $3. Here is my receipt for the apple cinnamon muffin mix, $1.50. I'm going to talk about Bulk Barn last. So the next thing we'll talk about is Sobeys. Sobeys had these compliments, sausages, variety of different kinds on for a Black Friday deal last week, 4 days only. I bought a package for week 1, and I just kept thinking about them. So I went back before the 4 days were over, and I picked up, these are smoky maple flavored breakfast sausages. It is a smaller package, but I have a particular recipe in mind that I want to use these breakfast sausages for. So this is what I picked up, and they were still $2.99. And at that time, I just took a swing through the dairy aisle, and there were still packages of these nibblers left for 50 cents. So, well, they were $2, marked down on clearance for $2, and then I used a $1.50 Armstrong coupon for them. So $2.99 and 50 cents. This is really where I increased my buying power big time. I really wanted butter. Like, no ifs, ands, buts, or maybes. I wanted butter last week on my week 1 meals more probably than any other single ingredient. And I thought, how can I make it work? So this little tiny, I know this is tiny, this little tiny package was on for $2.99. And they did have big packages for $5.49, also on sale at Sobeys. But they didn't have any in stock. And I mean, I could have got a rain check for something like that, but what I really wanted was butter this week. I wanted to use a coupon, so the Dairy Farmers of Canada coupon, and I wanted to use fast fuel coupons to help bring the cost down of what I was buying. The cheese was on sale for $4.99, and same thing, like I was looking to buy butter and cheese at either Sobeys or Foodland so that I could use my coupons and the fast fuel coupons to offset the cost. So this worked out to be the best price. I knew the butter sale was going to be over, and I needed to make a decision, either get it or think of some other option. And when the flyers came out for this week, butter was not on sale at a great price at either Sobeys or Foodland, so it just made sense for me to get it here. So $4.99 minus $1 coupon, $2.99 minus $1 coupon. So you see those here. I got 125 points for getting the cheese. The grand total was $5.98. And then I used the coupon that I got for my fill-up of gas, the coupon that I used for my top-up of gas, and then the 44-cent coupon that I got free that was dangling from the pump, which brought down my actual out-of-pocket cost to $1.15. I will very, very sparingly use the butter, but at least now I have butter. And I decided to go with butter instead of margarine simply because that's my preference. I could have paid $1.88, but that would have been $1.88 cash out of pocket. No way to subsidize it because margarine does not have Dairy Products of Canada logo on it. And also that was at Giant Tiger, which means I couldn't use my fast fuel coupons. So this was the absolute best bargain for me, and I was very thoughtful. I did all kinds of like working out what it would cost. Would it cost cash? What if I got this here? What if I got this there? So this was the best one for me. Now let's talk about bulk burn. I had 66 cents, 67 cents left to use at the bulk burn. I went in and this was a phenomenal experience. I approached the person at the cash. This was not on Sustainable Sundays, but I brought my jars anyways because it is absolutely critical that I get the most for my money. And when you are putting little dribs and drabs of items in the plastic bags, well, the plastic bags will actually add to your weight. In the grand scheme of things, on a regular day, I would just put the stuff in the bags, but this is different. They were on board, totally on board. They knew what I was trying to accomplish. I got oats, lentils, nutmeg, more cinnamon to go with the cinnamon that I have left over from last week, baking powder, and baking soda. All things that I have plans for recipes. Baking soda, 2 cents. Baking powder, 14 cents. Green lentils, 8 cents. Nutmeg, 15 cents. And cinnamon, 10 cents. Where's the oats? Baking powder, green lentils, ground nutmeg, cinnamon. Oh, oats, 14 cents. I just need to go down a little further. And my grand total was 63 cents, and I was thoughtful about that. I'm making up the 3 cents extra from last week. I will say, it was pretty funny, actually. So this one here is where I was topping up. I want more cinnamon to go with the cinnamon I have left over. And the container weighed in at 0.015. So you see that on the front. So what happens is they weigh your container, you put the stuff in it, then they weigh the container a second time and deduct the value of the weight of the first to tell you how much you have inside of it. So I got the cinnamon, and when I took it back up, I didn't have enough cinnamon that it changed the weight. It was still actually 0.015. So she said, you're going to have to go back and get more. So I go back. I get like a tiny fraction more. Our goal was we were trying to get it to 0.016. So that all I was going to have to pay for was 0.001. Came back up. Nope, still weighing at 0.015. Go back again. Same thing. I come up. It's still 0.015. I think I went back maybe 4 times to get little bit more, tiny bit more, couple more grains. And come to find out when it finally did switch over, it switched over to 0.020. Their scales go by 0.05. So it's 0.005, 0.010, 0.015, 0.020. So I ended up getting 0.004 grams more than what I had hoped for, but I still was within my budget, and I'm good with that because actually I've been using cinnamon for quite a few things. Cinnamon in oatmeal. Cinnamon will be in some of the recipes that I'm making coming up. So yeah, it's good for me to have that. I feel very pleased with these. Of course, the counter's not as full as it was last week, but I'm really, really very happy with these. And some of these items are going to like really last me. I'm going to stretch these out, as specifically the syrup, and I'm going to stretch out the cheese. I'm going to stretch out those taco shells. I'm going to stretch out the beef. I can't even think that I would use the cream cheese. I have no plans for that cream cheese this week, but as soon as I have budget available for next week, I'll pick up another few things to go with that, and then I do have plans. What do you think, guys? I know the counter wasn't as full as last week, but I really got some exciting things, exciting to me anyways, butter and cheese. I was quite thoughtful about what options were going to give me the best buy. Was it a sale price here? Was it being able to use a coupon there? I really put some planning and thought into that. And that kind of brings me to, how much time does this take? So that was a question that I received. I'm going to say week 1, absolutely. That took the most planning. I spent about 30 minutes going through the flyers, 30 minutes planning what was I what was available on sale, what items did I want, and what meals could I make with it. Kind of loosely meal planning. And then I spent about 2 hours grocery shopping. This week, not so much. I spent about, I'm going to say 15 minutes looking through the flyers. I spent the most time on calculating out how I could get butter and cheese and how that would look for me. And I only spent about an hour, maybe an hour and 15 minutes tops grocery shopping. And as the weeks go on, it will get easier and easier to me because I won't have to work so hard at it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Don't forget to tune in on Friday so that you can see what we made in week 2. I just feel so positive about this challenge. Like, it started so incredibly strong. Yeah, I really have lots of hope and no concerns for the upcoming weeks. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would appreciate it if you would do so. Likes, shares, comments, they help me as well. So like, and share. Let me know your thoughts. Have a wonderful week, everybody.